Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lord here, and we are here with the Shaman kit review. If you have not seen any of these kit reviews before, basically what I do is I go over a hero class, I go through all the skills, I give them all a rating, and then I come up with an overall score based on those ratings, and that gives you sort of an idea of how I rate the class to other classes. Now, you shouldn't get a class just because I rate it highly or anything like that. This is all my opinion and my experience. You may like the class more, and therefore you upgrade it more. It's all based on your opinion, so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started on the Shaman kit review. Shaman's first ability is called Tornado, and what this does is it summons a tornado, and it will go in a forward path for about 5 or 6 blocks, and anybody that is trapped within it will get damaged for 6 damage every second, and that increases by 0.5 damage all the way up to 10 damage. And this is untrue damage, so armor does reduce the amount of damage it takes. Well, when you're starting off, it does about maybe 2 damage to a full iron, which isn't too bad, not too great. But then at max, it will do 5 damage to a full iron, so that is pretty good. So overall, I give this skill a 7 out of 10, because it does work really well with Shaman. It knocks them back. You can sort of push them into the tornado, which is a little hard to do, but we'll go over that later. But if somebody is trapped within this for the entire duration, they are going to take quite a bit of damage, so it is a pretty good skill. Next skill is called Heroism, and whenever you hit a player, you have a 17% chance to apply weakness to them, and you gain speed 2 for 2 seconds starting out. And the duration of the weakness and speed increases by 0.5 all the way up to 6 seconds. Oh, excuse me. But I give this skill an 8 out of 10. Mainly because this is a really good skill. You usually will have speed 2 and giving them weakness throughout the entire fight. A lot of time, rarely do you ever not get this skill within a fight. It's basically 1 out of every 5 hits, so it's pretty good. You're going to have it most of the time, so 8 out of 10. Next skill, Wolfpack. When you get hit, you have a 10% chance to spawn a wolf. That will start attacking the player that hits you, and they will be spawned for 5 seconds or until they're killed, and this increases a little bit all the way up to 10 seconds. Now this skill I give a 7 out of 10. This is a really good combo breaker, so if you're getting comboed by like an Enderman or somebody else with speed, this will stop that a lot of the time, not all the time, but most of the time it'll knock them off their little strafe path, and you can sort of combo them back sometimes. It is a really good skill, especially against Endermen, since they rely on their anti-knockback a lot. These wolves will still knock them back, so it's pretty good, and that's why it gets a 7 out of 10. Its kit, you start with an iron sword and 2 stake. And then at 4, you get diamond boots with feather falling 1, and then you get the diamond sword at 7, along with feather falling 2. And then at 8 is when you get the second health potion and prot 1 on your boots, and then at max you get prot 2 on your boots. Now the kit I give a 5 out of 10, mainly because it does take a while for it to become good. There's a big difference between iron sword and diamond sword, especially with Shaman. So you do have to get it to 7 before you start noticing any difference, and even then you have to get it to 8 to get that second health potion, because that second health potion there's a huge difference between having 1 and 2. So yeah, it does take a while for the kit to become good, so that's why it only gets a 5 out of 10. Moving on to the gathering talent, whenever you mine iron ore, there is a 10% chance that it will drop either a log or a piece of coal, and that increases a little bit all the way up to 30%. Now this skill gets a 6 out of 10. It's not terrible, it's not great, it's good, but it's not like Herobrine good where you can get more food. This just gives you logs, sort of to prepare you for a deathmatch when you're trying to run away or something like that. But in deathmatch, not that helpful, unless you need like a crafting table real quick and you're underground or something like that. But overall it's okay, not bad. And for these skills or these ratings, I come up with the sort of, let me go ahead and explain them. The first one is called Utility, and this basically means how many scenarios does this kit fit into. So like, do you want this kit in a hole? Do you want this kit in a sky base or above ground? You know, stuff like that. So this gets an 8 out of 10 from me, because it is basically an all-around kit. It's okay in a hole, it's really good above ground, it can do pretty well on a sky base as long as it doesn't get knocked off. It can do some damage. So overall, it's really good. When I say in a hole, I don't mean a 1x1. You really want to have sort of an area to strafe around if you are underground. But mainly I would recommend staying above ground, as sort of your strafing capabilities are the best above ground. So utility gets an 8 out of 10. The next one is called Simplicity, and this basically just means how simple is the class to use. And this gets a 4 out of 10. Shaman is the most player-reliant class, and what I mean by that is, like, it doesn't rely on its right clicks at all. I mean, it does, but you really need to be good at PvP to be good with Shaman. You can not be good with PvP and use Shaman, but you're not going to be a good Shaman. So it does take a while to get the playstyle down of Shaman. And yep, that's why it gets 4 out of 10. The next rating I give is called Value. Or no, not Value. It's called Return, and this basically means how much do you have to put into the kit before it starts sort of becoming competitive with other high-level kits. And this gets a 4 out of 10 again, because you do have to get the kit to at least 7, and even then I do recommend getting to 8. And then Tornado, really good at max, but you can stop around 5 or 6. You'll be doing decent damage, but I do recommend getting max skill if you are wanting to use Shaman. Max skill is really, really good. And Heroism, you do want to get this upgraded as well. For that 5 seconds is what I did, and I think that's a really good. 6 seconds would be better, but you know, you can't waste all your coins on Shaman, or not waste, but you can't use all your coins on one class. So yeah, that's why you do have to get it up to pretty high level before you start competing with, like, say, like a zombie that can do heal itself for 6 and put out a decent amount of damage. So the next value, or the next rating I give, is called Fun, and really simple, this just means how fun is the class to use. And this gets an 8 out of 10 for me, because it is a really, really fun kit to use, especially when you're having basically speed 2 throughout every fight you have. You're spawning wolves, you're summoning tornadoes and knocking them back. It's just a lot of fun. And once you do get the playstyle of Shaman down, it is insanely fun. You can start walking to 2v1s and winning. So overall, that gives the Shaman kit a 6 out of 10. So it's basically tied with Dread, I believe. Did I do Dread? Yeah, I did. I believe it's tied with Dread. So, yep, that is Shaman's kit review. Let's go ahead and hop into a game, and I shall give some tips for you on how to use Shaman. Hey guys, we're here with Shaman's first tip. And the first tip is to definitely strafe with Shaman. Obviously, if you get speed 2, definitely want to strafe. Ouch. That is a lot of blues. Can get out of here. And I'm back in. So obviously, if you are getting speed the entire fight, you definitely want to be strafing around, taking that speed, or giving that speed your advantage, and you're also giving them weakness. So if they hit you less, even when they have, or while they have a weakness, you're gonna be taking less damage. Hey guys, what's going on? And we're here with the other tip I have for Shaman. Now, because your tornado goes forward, you want to try and aim it to where they're going to be, and then while it's going forward, you want to try and get in front of them and then knock them back into the tornado. It is really hard to do, especially when you're not used to Shaman's playstyle, but if you can do that, you will be pushing them back into the tornado, and they'll be taking more damage, and eventually you just win the fight outright. So, something that's hard to do, but it can pay off if you can get it down. Alright, and we're here with my final thoughts on the Shaman kit. Overall, it's pretty good class. As I said before, you do have to get it a pretty high level before you can start competing with other high level kits. But other than that, it's really fun to use. It's good if you're good at PvP. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching. And if there is a kit that you would like to see next, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And maybe that'll be the next cut I do. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.